Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So today we'll be going to practice out another program in the Python programming language, and that program is write a Python function to calculate the factorial of a number, a non-negative integer. The function accepts the number as an argument. Now here we have moved towards the functions, right? Here my program says me to write out a Python function, define a function actually that would actually help me to calculate the factorial of a number, a non-negative integer. Okay, the function accepts a number as an argument, so it means that we need to take the input from the user, right? Okay. Sorry, the function accepts a number as an argument. In it means that basically whenever I'd be calling out my function, so in that place I'd be giving out a number which I want to find out the factorial of. This is the idea regarding this program. Now, basically, most of you would be familiar with that what we actually say from the factorial, right? That what is actually factorial. But let me even give you an overview regarding that what is actually factorial and how we just calculate that out. So it will be easier for you to write out the program. So let's say I just need to find out the factorial 5 for 5. So we have 5 multiplication 4, multiplication 3, multiplication 2, multiplication 1. That will actually result me the final multiplication, that is 120, and yes, this is the factorial for the number which is 5. Okay. So whatever the number you are going to find out the factorial of, you just need to take out that number and you just need to go till the multiplication of 1, and that will actually result you the final factorial. Fine, this is the same for all of the numbers which you are taking. Now, one thing to notice here and to mention here as well, that basically what's the factorial of 0. So factorial for 0 we have that is equal to 1. Okay, so whenever you are just going to find out the factorial of 0, that is 1. Fine, this is okay. And factorial cannot be found out on the non-negative integers. We always find out the factorial of the positive integers only. Fine, these are some rules regarding out the factorials. Now let me tell you that how we can just do this particular thing. Okay, first of all, I am asked basically to make out a function, right? So I'll be making def, and let's say FAC, name for my function of factorial. Okay, and I am asked to pass the number which I want to find out the factorial of as an argument. So arguments are always passed inside the function, right? We're just declaring your function. In that place only we just pass out the number, and that is actually called as passing out the argument. So here I have just done out the same thing at this particular place. Okay, now what next do I have here? Next I'll be using out my condition. First of all, I just mentioned that factorial for 0 is 1, right? So I would just write that if n is equal to 0. It means the number which you have taken, if that is equal to 0. So in that case, simply return out here as 1, because factorial for 0 is 1. Fine. And if this is not the condition, then I would apply the else loop, else here, and I would just simply use out one of my return statements. Let me come down. Return, and I would just apply here in multiplication, and what is the name for my function which I have used, that is fact, and I would just simply write here n minus 1. Okay, coming outside this, I'll be taking the input from the user. As I mentioned that passing argument means taking input from the user. So let's say I just took out the input, and simply inside my print statement I would be calling out my function, that is fact, and in the bracket it is n. Fine. This is how you could just actually write out the program. Fine, this is how you could write out the program. Now let's see that basically how the functioning of this program will actually take place. Okay, let me just take out a different color here so as to show you that thing. Fine. Now I have taken fact n. Now let's say I just take a number that is equal to 5. Okay, let's say I took 5 here. Now what will happen? It will check that is 5 equal to 0. No, this is not the condition that is satisfied. Then it will come inside my else condition. Now here it will see return n. What is my n? N is my 5. Okay, multiplication. Now what do I have here? Fact n minus 1. Now fact is my function which I am having. Now in n what I am having? N value is my 5. So it will go here as 4. Okay. Now it will print me till 4, multiplication 3, multiplication 2, multiplication 1. Till the point it is 1, it will, till this fact is equal to 0. Till that particular place it will print me this number. Okay. And simply when I just call out this print fact or like this function which is fact, so in that case it will result me the final answer, that is 120. Fine. So this is how it will actually work out here. This is how the dry run of this program will actually work. And if I take the number as 0, so in that case 0 is equal to 0, so it will simply return me the factorial, which is 1. Okay, hope you just got the idea regarding this program. So the program which I have written here, this is an example of recursion. So what does this just meant by recursion? So this means using one function inside a function, that is called a recursion. Fine. So here I just used out this recursion program for finding out the factorial of a number. Now just let me open out the PyCharm here and let's write out the program. Def. And my name for my function is fact, and let's here just pass out num. Okay, come inside this. What I would just do, I would apply my condition. If num is equal to 0, okay, so in that case simply what to return out? To return here as 1, because factorial for 0 is 1. And if this is not the case, so in that case else what to return? So simply return out here n multiplication, and I will just call out my function, that is fact. Okay, here it is. Just 1 second, just let me come down. Here it is num. Okay, num, and here one space, num multiplication fact. Into the bracket it is num minus 1. Fine. Now here this return statement has been completed. After coming out here, I'll be using out my n, that is num is equal to int. I'll be taking the input from the user int. Then I have input here, and here I would be having that enter the number. Okay, enter the number. And here I'll be coming down and simply calling out my function. So I'll be writing here print, and inside that I'll be passing here fact, and inside that I'll be passing out the num, the variable in which we had taken out the value for which we want to find out the factorial. Okay, it's the time for running out my program, so just click on run. And okay, it is asking me to enter a number. Let's see, I'll be taking the same number first of all which we have taken onto the 1, that is 5. See what it is giving me? It is giving me that the factorial of 5 is 120. Fine, let's take some different number as well. Let's say here I just took out a number, that is 24. Okay, let me increase it the size 24. So this is somewhat the factorial of 24. Now you just calculate it on your own. I'm just not going to do that thing right here. And let's say I just take out a num, that is 0, because we need to check for the 0 as well. So see, now it is returning me 1. Fine, so this is how you can just find out and calculate out the factorial of a number using the function. So here we are just define out a function, and with the help of that function only we are just calculating out the factorial of the particular number whatever we just wish, and that is the reason we had taken out the input from the user. Fine, and here I had used out the procedure, the technique, the concept which is called as recursion. Fine, so hope you just got this program very much clear. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.